Or is the truth found within you? And if it is found in you, how hard are you receptive to it? Is y'all hard? Is y'all hard? Do being receptive to y'all spirit get y'all on hard? My ladies, my ladies, I want you to be hard. Most people are not going to listen to their soul. Most people are going to be rebellious to their soul. So when you read the Bible, a lot of times we look at it literally and we're trying to read the stories of people. But at another level, the Bible is meant as a metaphysical book. And what that means is it's a book about allegories that reference you, the reader, whoever's reading the Bible, with how to tap into their soul. Jesus being the Lamb, the one that resurrects, the one that is there for the revelation, is not an actual man walking in the desert, right? It is our soul. So in reference to the soul, there's a lot of allegories and parables because we live a long and complicated and complex life that is generally simplified when we realize and understand the spiritual unseen realm that is found within us. But instead of being a type of person that is following their soul, we tend to follow the world. So what that will look like in the analogy standpoint is becoming rebellious, right? Rebellious to God, rebellious to the soul. So there's a specific story in the Bible of Luke and John in the story of Lazarus. See, Lazarus was resurrected by Jesus and his miracles. But Lazarus had two sisters, Mary and Martha. This conversation is specific to Martha, or the ego, and how its very nature, no matter if you are a part of a spiritual coven and it's coining itself as the most spiritual coven of all time, but it's requiring you to pay attention to the coven more than you pay attention to your soul, then it is you being rebellious to your soul. Church, temple, mosque. This is why we can look at these institutions and feel like they are evil and good at the same time. Because sometimes we need Mary. Sometimes we need Martha. But the problem is when we get so caught up in knowing what we know, as if all that we know is all we need to know. And so when we don't go back and forth or tap into the yin and yang symbolism, being the light within dark and the dark within light, we tend to always be on the short end of the stick internally. Because we are grown ass people. Y'all niggas done been to church, y'all niggas done been to the mosque, and y'all still don't get it. Y'all done been to the temple, y'all done been conscious, y'all done follow Orishas, and y'all still don't get it. Y'all are trying to use the spiritual solely to improve the external, because the external, based upon what you've experienced, is the all. And you know goddamn well that there's more to experience in life. You know that you need to learn more, right? But you can't just simply say, I'm going to learn everything that I need to learn from the books. You have to also say, I'm going to learn from the soul too. Okay? I'm going to do both. So I'm going to study research-wise, books, internet, take notes. I'm going to do that. But I'm going to also meditate and observe. So let's read from Truth Unity, the metaphysical meaning of Martha. Martha is the sister of Mary and Lazarus. The three lived together at Bethany, and Jesus often visited at their home. In Luke chapter 10, verse 38 through 32, Martha and Mary represent the outer and inner phases, respectively, of the soul's activity in welcoming the inner spiritual teacher, which is Jesus. So niggas will bash the Bible, but then you be like, well, let's break it down metaphysically. Niggas done already threw it away. That's what it's called, throwing a baby out with the bathwater. If you don't understand the allegorical meanings for which being laid out for you, then you will be looking at the surface like, well, this don't make sense. This must be bullshit. Okay? The soul established in love. So this is very important. It's normal for y'all to tell me how much you loved your husband, how much you loved your wife. It's super weird and super rare to hear a person say, I love my soul so much that if my wife told me to go to hell, I wouldn't give a fuck. It's very rare for a motherfucker to tell me, I love my soul so much that if my husband said, I'm not paying your rent no more, I love myself so much, I'll pay my own damn rent. Because I'm not dealing with him to pay my rent. I'm dealing with him because I'm following my soul. Because you establish a relationship with anybody through a relationship with your soul. And when you do this, reading further, is always quick to discern the presence of true thoughts. So sometimes y'all be confused about this shit. Y'all be confused about these spiritual niggas. Y'all be confused about your boyfriend. Y'all be confused about should you quit your job or should you not quit your job. You be confused about is he the one or he ain't the one. I'll be in a relationship with anybody right now. You're not gonna hurt me. I don't care. You can only love me, right? But when you have that presence of mind, it's going to, people not even going to deal with you. So the soul, established in love, is always quick to discern the presence of true thoughts. So your confusion is based upon you not finding the love within. And it welcomes the spiritual man or teacher who brings the truth. Y'all follow this? When you find the love within, it's going to guide you to the spiritual man or teacher who is living in truth. Don't ever listen to a man tell you what he going to do and how he going to do it, because a real man ain't going to tell you. One's in the chat. A real man is going to show you. A real man ain't going to say, I know how to build a house. You put the 2x4 on top of the 2x4. You put some glue here. You hammer it. A real man don't even know how to do that. He going to just build the fucking house. But you must be, see, when you don't love yourself, you be listening to what these niggas got to say. When you don't love yourself, you start to believe what these niggas got to say. When you don't love yourself, you start to follow what they have to say. And at the end of the day, you be scratching your head at where you at. The soul, established in love, is always quick to discern the presence of true thoughts, and it welcomes the spiritual man or teacher who brings truth. It is, see, this is exactly why when niggas be telling me about a spiritual person and it's a whole bunch of people around them. Now, let's be honest. All of those people, are they on the up and up? Are all of those people on square business? Are all those people on fuckery and flim-flams? So you got a crowd of people that's on fuckery and flim-flams, and the leader of said group is the leader of fuckery and flim-flams. I honestly, the way that I speak, half of y'all is dealing with the truth, and the other half of y'all is stealing what I'm saying so y'all can build y'all own content up. But that's the truth. But you got to understand, as much as you going to steal, as much as you going to listen, the purpose of my conversation with y'all is going to be found in this next sentence. It is also in a receptive attitude towards understanding. So as quick as you can say, ain't no good men, as quick as you can say, ain't no good women, as quick as you can say, I'll never, as quick as you can say, the past has been fucked up, you also need to be receptive to the understanding of your soul. And I feel like that's the most important part. Because most people is more receptive to their ignorance and to their past and to their fear. When it comes to having the attitude towards understanding, they're not really receptive to it. Because the mind does play a trick. Martha represents the outer activity of the soul that is receiving the higher self. Mary represents the inner or soul receptivity. Martha desires to show her love by service. So we think that if we make the money, we'll be more desirable. One in the chat. We think if we lose the weight, we'll be more desirable. One in the chat. We think if we keep our, if we keep our feet done, if we keep our nails done, if we keep our hair cut, if we keep our skin clear, we'll be more desirable. Because the facts of our nails being fucked up, and the fact of us being a little chubby, and the fact of us having blemishes is the reasons why, because we got a whole list, one's in the chat, of the reasons why we haven't been loved. Right? And the work that we need to do is to right our wrongs. And then once we right our wrongs, then we'll be in a position to be loved. Right? Keep it a buck with me, one's in the chat, and I'll keep it a buck with you. Because if you think that way and you live that way, I can guarantee you that you're not experiencing love in this moment. Because the reality of love is unconditional, and you can't get unconditional love from a nigga. A nigga gonna want some pussy at a certain point, one's in the chat. You can't get unconditional love from a girl. A girl gonna want some money at a certain point, one's in the chat. At a certain point, she gonna want you to buy her a sub from Subway. So now you want unconditional love and you want to see how that unconditional love would be expressed, then you gonna have to take her to Subway and have her buy you a pizza sub. And say, no, we're practicing unconditional love, baby. I want you to love me in spite of me not having $5.99 for this pizza sub. You're never going to get that. So stop trying to get that. I'd say be the best person that you can be. Mary represents the inner or soul receptivity, which will create the ability to show your love by service. It's reversed because we were children. We were children, we didn't have shit, and we couldn't do shit, so we're trying to prove our love to our moms and dads by doing what? Getting A's and B's, getting the football trophy, being the best person in the play, singing our heart out in choir, right? We're not doing that because we want to be good at that shit. Please believe that. We're doing that shit because we're being Martha. We're trying to, it's natural, first of all. It's not a bad thing. The outer activity of the soul that is receiving the higher self, that's not a bad thing. What it is, though, is out of order. What it is, though, is out of balance. Because now, as much as you're doing this shit to show off for your mom and dad, what are you doing? Now, this is the kicker. What are you doing to show off for your soul? Because Lord forbid y'all niggas tell me how much y'all been fucking up meditating. Have you been waking up at 5 o'clock meditating every morning? You know what? I've been busy. I've been fucking up. Have you been making your mama proud? Yes, I've been doing my dance recital every day at 5 o'clock. My mama real proud of me. But my soul, fuck that nigga. I don't give a fuck about him, man. Your soul really want to watch you meditate. Like, that's your dance recital for your soul. You don't give your soul that. Make sense? Martha desires to show her love by service. Mary shows hers by learning at Jesus's feet. So Jesus's feet, which would be another allegory, an analogy. Where's the feet on the Kabbalistic tree of life? The feet are representing of Malkuth. So Mary shows hers by learning at Jesus's feet. So this is kind of abstract, but once you fill in the holes, Mary, in the story, Mary is washing Jesus's feet with her hair, right? But she also learning from Jesus by that process through osmosis. So another level is, how could we make this metaphysical? We make it metaphysical by wherever we at in life. Life is putting us there to teach us something, right? And it don't matter where we at, right? The circumstance is irrelevant. Malkuth is Malkuth. Like, you gonna wake up where you gonna wake up, right? What's gonna fuck it up? I'm here, but I wish I was there. So you get into a space of Mary learning at Jesus' feet, learning by Malkuth, like whatever it is that you need to learn in this present situation, you then outpour that in your waking everyday beta life, whatever you choose to do. So moving forward, both of these activities are necessary, but we should take heed that in our desire, both of these activities are necessary, but we should take heed that in our desire to serve, we do not forget our times of communication with our indwelling Lord. We should not set a greater value on active service than on quiet, loving receptivity to the Spirit of truth within us. Can we read that again together? Can we read that again together? And after y'all read that together with me, I want you guys to put a 1 in the chat to say that you understood that, because we go into our next slide. But I'm not doing this video. Like, the most important part is that you get some gnosis, that you get some understanding. I want you to have a receptive attitude towards understanding. And so this last sentence is very important to me that you understand it. So we're going to read it. And after we read it, we're going to put some 1s in the chat. I'm going to put a 1 in the chat myself. We should not set a greater value on active service. So active service is anything that we do in the external world. Some of y'all is barbers, some of y'all are strippers. It don't matter. Whatever you do is active service. And us as human beings, we imagine that the most important thing in our life is how good we give a shape up to a nigga. Okay? And so you be like, what's wrong, Tone? Man, I done nicked this motherfucking little kid up at work today. I was sitting in the back of the damn barbershop. Ain't nobody come sit in my chair for the rest of the damn day. That word spread fat as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And that's your whole vibe for the day. You just mad. So we should not set greater value on active service than on quiet, loving receptivity to the Spirit of truth. Is it in these conscious niggas throwing fake sex magic courses? Is it in these fake conscious niggas doing bullshit meditation courses? Is the truth in these fake ass conscious niggas doing videos about nonsense? Or is the truth found within you? And if it is found in you, how hard are you receptive to it? Is y'all hard? Do being receptive to y'all spirit get y'all on hard? My ladies, I want you to be hard when it comes to being receptive to the Spirit of truth that resides within you. Is that too much to ask? Shout out to my graphic designer for the wavy background. Got me feeling like I'm in a fucking futuristic puddle.